What's up, you guys? Captain Kirk here. This is going to be a bit of a different video from what I normally post on this channel. I thought, since I'm in the infant stages of having a YouTube channel, that I document the fears that I'm feeling and some of the tips I've used to overcome these fears in order to start recording videos and posting it on YouTube for the world to see. I've always been a shy guy my whole life. I couldn't talk to girls, and there's no way I could talk to groups of people. Even if there was only 2 people in the group, I would totally shut down and I couldn't make any conversations. I remember back in grade 10 when we were assigned to do a book report and then present it in front of the class. I almost died. I remember having all these intense nervous feelings leading up to the book report. I spent more time worrying about how I'm going to look, how I'm going to sound, than actually preparing for the report itself. When it came time to present, I stood in front of the class and I held my page directly in front of my face like this. I held it like this in front of my face and I read word for word the entire report. I did this so that I wouldn't be able to make eye contact with anybody during this presentation. And I spoke so softly that nobody could hear what I was going to say. I don't really know how I passed. The teacher gave me a C and just sent me along my way. It's been 10 years since then, and I've overcome all these fears. I have been on many wonderful dates in my life. I've interacted with large groups of people. And as a pilot, I'm constantly put in situations where I have to interact with passengers and other crew members. Recently, however, I decided to make YouTube videos. I just couldn't get out of my head. It's something that I felt like I had to do. What's interesting is that right before I hit the record button, I noticed all those fears come back to me as a kid in grade 10. I was overanalyzing everything I was going to say. I was checking myself out in the camera and making sure I didn't make any weird gestures. And I ended up speaking so softly that the microphone didn't really capture any of the audio. So what I did was come up with this idea. I did something interesting. What I did was I would go search the top YouTuber channels that I looked up to, and I would arrange their videos from the oldest video to the newest video. You can do that by clicking on your favorite YouTuber's channel, going to the video section and selecting the date oldest to newest. And what I noticed was most of their older videos were shit. The video quality sucked. The audio, you could barely hear what they were saying, and you could tell that they were super nervous. So I thought to myself, if they started out like this and now many years later they're successful at it, then maybe I have a chance of also overcoming those obstacles and being successful at YouTube. There are 3 tips I have used to overcome any fears or procrastination when it comes to making these YouTube videos. Tip number 1, figure out your why. Think about the people you're going to help. Think about the impact you're going to create. Think of how you want people to remember you by when you're gone. Maybe you can even use it as a self-development tool to help you express yourself to a large group of people. Tip number 2, don't look at yourself while recording. If you're like me and making YouTube videos with your cell phone camera, don't look at the selfie side of the camera. Not only is it a lower quality camera, but it also is very distracting. What you should do is flip it around, use a regular higher quality megapixel lens, and look directly at the lens. This will also help you connect better with your viewers because you'll just be looking directly into the eyes of the viewer. Tip number 3, just start. This is what upsets me the most. What I notice about people around me is that they're not starting. Instead, what they're doing is thinking, they're strategizing, they're planning their every move. The most successful people you know are the ones that actually start. They are always taking action. The others talk about what they want to do someday. No one who you know who is successful got there by accident. They put in the hard work, it took some time, they were patient, and then they reaped the results. So put those blinders on and just start. So there you have it. That's my tips and tricks I use on myself personally if I'm not feeling like making a YouTube video. As I said before, it's something different from what I normally post on this channel. It's something that I was feeling in the moment and I thought it was important for me to do. As always, if you like these type of videos, all I ask is that you subscribe and smash that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and it keeps me pushing to make more of these type of videos in the future.